Hello. In today's video, we'll be reviewing how to edit an Excel template to print out labeled copies. This can be useful if you are intending to keep physical printouts as copies in the office for your records. For example, with a job order, you may wish to print out a floor copy as well as an office copy. Or with external documents, like a shipping order or an invoice, you may wish to print an office copy in addition to a customer copy. All right. In this video, we are going to be reviewing how to make these changes to the job order printout. However, these changes would be applicable to any Excel-based printout. So for the first step, we're just going to be reviewing what the current printout looks like for this job order. Okay, so we can see that this is a two-page job order. And in this video, we are going to demonstrate how to create two copies. We're going to do a production copy and an office copy. So when we're done, we would expect this to be a 4-page document. Okay, so next we are going to go into the template edit screen and create a new template. To do this, we're going to click on the template button. If you do not see a template button, it could indicate that you are a non-administrative user and you do not have access to edit templates. In the template edit screen, we can see all of the existing templates for this document, as well as which ones are enabled. There is currently only one template for the job order printout document. So we're going to select the currently enabled document, or currently enabled template, and we're going to click on New, and we're going to give it a relevant name. And this is going to create a brand new template for us to work with. You can see that the template is not enabled by default. This is preferable because you do not want users to start using your template before it has been finalized. So once we're ready, we can come back and enable the template and disable the old one. All right, so next we're going to edit the template by selecting it and clicking on Edit. Okay. In this case, I am using a open source solution to edit the Excel template file. However, the steps that we'll be going through will be similar if you're using Excel. All right. So the first thing to note is that there are two worksheets on this file. We have data and config, and we will be making changes to both of these. So we're going to start with the config sheet, and we're just going to scroll all the way to the left and all the way to the top. And this will bring us to an area where tables are being modified to work with the template. We don't really need to worry about the existing tables. We're going to be adding a new one. So we're going to create a brand new table with a number of records equal to how many copies we want to print. So in this case, we want to print 2 copies. So I'm just going to create a new table, and it can be called anything. I'm just calling it labels for clarity. Next, we're going to use the user table command and pass it the following criteria. So the first one, where we call create temp file, that tells user table that we're creating a brand new table. And then the second entry is how many records we'd like that table to have. So that tells this template we're going to create a brand new labels table, and it is going to have 2 records. Okay, so for the next change, we are actually going to edit the sheet name of data. So the template will actually repeat the sheet based on the number of entries in the labels table. So I'm going to call this labels.rowpause. Okay, so we're using our brand new labels table, and we are telling it that the new sheet will be called rowpause, which is just the record number of our brand new table. So let's go ahead and save that, and we're actually going to just take a look at what this looks like. I'm going to enable our new template and disable the old one. And then we're going to take a look at the preview. Okay, so you can see that there are now 4 pages. And you can see that it is creating 2 completely identical copies, the only difference being which page number they are. Okay, so we're not quite looking for identical copies. We want them to be labeled. So the next step is to go back to the template, and we're going to scroll down to the bottom. So down here is where the printing finishes normally, so around row 37. And I'm just going to select a cell kind of in the middle here, and I am going to add an if condition based off of our labels table and the row pause value. So if it is equal to 0, we are going to print office copy, and otherwise we are going to print production copy. Okay, so this just tells it that if we are on the first copy, we'll print the first text, otherwise we'll print the second. I'm going to save, and we'll preview this again. And if we scroll down, you can see that the first copy says office copy, and the second copy says production copy. So that's really all you need to do. If you do not want the numbers to be cumulative of both copies, one change you can do is go back into the template edit screen. And if we scroll over to the right here, see where it says reset page number on each sheet? We can actually check that option off. And then if we go back to preview, you'll see that the first copy is now page 1 of 2, and that's still our office copy. And then the second copy is also page 1 of 2, and that is our production copy. So this can be updated to handle any number of templates, or rather any number of copies. So let's say, for example, that we want to increase this to 3 copies. We can go back to the template, and we're going back to the config sheet, and we're going to edit this to say 3 instead of 2. And then we're going to go back to our first worksheet, and we just need to modify this to say which copies we want. So let's say that we also want to have an admin copy. So what we would do is we could actually do a series of ifs. So if it is equal to 0 is an office copy. If it's equal to 1, it is a production copy. And if it is equal to, well, I'm just going to do true, which will always be true, and that'll be the admin copy. So, you can see that you can have as many copies as you want, and you can just keep putting, just to make it clear, let's do, labels row pause equal to 2. It's an admin copy. And so you can just keep doing that with however many copies you need. So we can see that we're now having 6 pages. First is the office copy. Then we have the production copy. And lastly, the admin copy. All right. Thank you very much for watching.